Honorable Minister for Information Technology and Digital Services, Government of Tamil Nadu, may I say, one of our brightest and best. Professor Ukomanovic, President IPMA, my long-standing friend Dr. Sivathanu Pillai, President of PMA India, patron PMA, a very distinguished former civil servant, Anil Rasdan, delegates, friends. It's an honor to be here, and I'm still learning about your movement, project management. Many of us are involved in project management without using that term. I suppose it presupposes efficiency, qualifications, capability, professionalism, and perhaps above all, integrity. That I suppose, these are some of the values that are behind your movement, because often there is a gap between what is announced, typically by governments, and how specific projects, whether they are large or small, are managed. And I hope after this event, after your meetings, to learn more about the work of your association, both international and national. There seems to be a lot of momentum here, perhaps after a period of, should I say, some stagnation. It's bound to be there. So I see a lot of energy here and a lot of interest in this. And I was one of those who would like to learn more about it. I thought in the limited time available here, it would be most useful if I made some observations about my own field, media and journalism, under the impact of one of the most consequential technological shifts in the history of our particular domain, namely artificial intelligence, which is now quite seriously embedded in the daily workflows of newsrooms across the world. Projects are undertaken. I can give you examples from the New York Times or the Financial Times, and even from Indian cases, including the Hindu, where some of the challenges come up, but also the opportunities. It could be a slippery slope if you don't get the policy right, the overall framework. If you don't put ethical guidelines around what your people are doing, and then gradually it's down the slippery slope. So I think it's very useful to break down the adoption of artificial technology, artificial intelligence, and the various tools and resources that are now available at an affordable cost, I would say, in India, certainly for the media. And there's a great deal happening here. But are these projects leading anywhere? Are the projects properly conceived? Is this how AI should be used? Are we taking enough precautions against the risks that are out there that everyone is talking about? These are extremely well known. What could happen if there is no policy for the whole organization, binding on all the people? You've got to make them sign and swear by that. And for any deviation, there has to be a consequence, accountability, including penalties, but also rewards for good compliance. But before I touch on my domain, I'd like to mention that two examples I've come across, particularly the first one, I think are outstanding examples of project management where all the values that I mentioned were present, where the drivers, some of them were the drivers for this force, and that is the BrahMos project, where we have your president now was the former managing director and CEO of this project, I think it was well conceived. And for those who are not aware of this, the details, Russia and India partnered it, partnered the whole project for, he can talk about it. But I visited the place thanks to Dr. Sivathanu Pillai, and it was meticulously conceived, planned, and executed. And I think it's one of the finest products, whether you like missiles or not, it's another matter. Whether you're a peacenik or those who believe that we should strengthen our military capabilities, that is irrelevant. But once the job was given, I think one could give very, very high marks for this. And another example is the gentleman sitting there, General Brar, who's worked on tanks, and I hope to learn a lot more about it. He's again, it's delivered earlier than promised, and excellent project management must have been at play. I just want to mention what we do, the kind of projects we do. In the Hindu, before that, the Financial Times, I think, is an exemplary model for project management. I'll just give you two examples. The FT, that is the Financial Times, has long measured engagement by how much time readers spend with their content. And for the FT and many publishers, stronger engagement directly leads to subscriptions. If you know, measurement is very important, data are very important. And if there is stronger engagement, then it directly correlates with consumers who are most likely to continue subscribing. So they set up something called AI Accelerate. And this is a project that has been very successfully completed, implemented, and it is delivering very good results. An example of what works, a project for generating article summaries and also producing Q&As, frequently asked questions, on which there must be a human at the end of the loop. But if you do that, these summaries do not deter people from reading the full story, but the summary is very, very helpful for readers to select what stories are worth reading, and that leads to deeper engagement. And the FT's experiment here with this project has been extremely successful. They set up, looking ahead, planning better than most media organizations in the world. They've been experimenting with AI for years, and in early 2024, they set up a small team called Accelerate AI. This team, interestingly, was like the BrahMos project, ring-fenced, without having a backlog of requests or old systems to support and maintain. Instead, the goals were to understand the opportunities and threats AI presented for the Financial Times. It looked at what was happening with the AI, examined questions such as what are FT's competitors doing and who are the new players. And then I think they've come up with a very successful set of projects. For example, using AI to draw links in obscure data sets, which journalists will find almost impossible to navigate. I don't want to go into more. These can be read on the WAN-IFRA website. That's the world industry body doing this. And so far as the Hindu is concerned, we do summaries, we do questions. Quizzes are very interesting for readers. We do search engine optimization, where it's not out there, but it's hidden, and it usually works. But apart from that, you need projects. So our IT team, working with the editorial teams, christened a project called Project Sarvajna. It's a groundbreaking. Our people claim, our Chief Technology Officer, Suresh Vijayaraghavan, claims that this This is an initiative that exemplifies good project management. It seamlessly blends history with cutting-edge technology, unlocking over 145 years of rich journalist archives. Our archives have been digitized from the 1880s, from the early 1880s. And if a journalist wants to write an article now, this is internally developed in-house by the IT team, by the tech team. We can summon material that is relevant, both text and images. And this is currently actually being used. We'll know how effectively and what the reward is for this over a long time. It will take quite a long time to measure this, but this is, I think, entirely conceived, architected, and implemented by our in-house IT team. And I think there are many more examples that I can talk about. The India president has advised me to stay within 10 minutes. So it's an exciting field there. Various major media organizations are experimenting with this. Finally, I would like to point out that in Tamil Nadu, the state that is among the leaders among states in India, look at per capita income, look at social indicators, look at women employed in manufacturing. Do you know that about 40% of women working in, all over India in the manufacturing sector are in Tamil Nadu? One state alone accounts for 40% plus. The minister may give you the exact figures if you ask him, and so on. So we have many advantages here, and I think it is because when promises are made, you need to deliver them. If you do not deliver them, people will punish you for it. Sooner or later, you can't fool them all the time, so they will punish you for it. So you've got to, and politics as well, there may be many weaknesses here. There are many gaps. There are faults also. There are things that have to be fixed, serious issues. But is it a government that delivers? This is a question that you have to ask. And your project management movement, I think, whether you're working on a small scale or a large scale or a mega project, I think provides many insights and lessons and also warnings if you fail to take this branch of governance or any human endeavor seriously. I thank you for this opportunity, and I'll now make way for our minister because, as I said, he's one of the brightest and the best we have in our country.